So on the warming up lap, Gary Whittaker had a spin, but he managed to take his grid position, but he will have a 10-second penalty because he did on the front row. Mark Biggers and Gary Whittaker. The second row, Colin Tester on board camera, Josh Ronchetti. And the third row is Ilse Cox and Paul Dobson after a damp qualifying session this morning. The red lights are on here then at Brands Hatch, and the lights go out now for the fourth race of the year for Classic Thunder. Mark Biggers powers away from Gary Whittaker to take the lead. Paul Dobson comes flying around the outside from 6th position. He goes equal second, side by side with Gary Whittaker. Mark Biggers goes sideways. Paul Dobson spins then in the Mazda. Everybody just about to avoid him. Another car goes round. I think that was one of the Escort. That's the car in the hands of Stuart Day. So leaders come down side by side. Colin Tester's trying to get the lead away from Mark Biggers, and he's done it. Colin Tester in the much less powerful Class B Ford Sierra Cosworth leads the way then. Second Biggers, third is Gary Whittaker, but remember he has that 10-second penalty. Fourth is Josh Ronchetti in the Holden Vauxhall Monaro, the ex-British GT car. So through Clearways and Clark Curve, Colin Tester driving away from Mark Biggers at the moment, but then the Nissan Skyline Turbo comes in and he's flying past Colin Tester like Tester's a back marker as they cross the line. So Biggers gets the lead back again, but Colin Tester then comes back at him, under braking for Paddock Hill Bend. Skyline just out in front, but Tester carries a lot more speed through the corner. Josh Ronchetti behind, attacking Gary Whittaker for third position on track. Into the Druids hairpin go the two leaders then. Biggers just ahead of Tester still. The exit the corner, Colin Tester all over the back of the Skyline, and then the Skyline puts its power down and drives the way down the straight. But then you slow it back down again for Graham Hilbert, and Whittaker still just with Ronchetti behind him. Behind them was Matt Moore in the Ford Escort in the 5th position. Gary Whittaker started to pull away from Ronchetti now as Tester still challenging for the lead. Once the cars put their power on around Clark Curve and down the Pebble Straight, the Skyline be able to pull away. Tester carrying a lot more speed through the corners, and then the power goes down. The Skyline drives away then from Colin Tester. They were nose to tail out of Clark Curve by the current across the line. It's a 1.5 second lead for Biggers. Ronchetti onto the back of Whittaker once again. They're both been closed in by Matt Moore in the Silhouette Ford Escort. The replica Super Saloon machine, and now they're all together. Matt Moore having a lot of speed through Druids, and now Josh Ronchetti is under all sorts of pressure going down towards Graham Hill Bend, and we can ride up on the rear view camera of Josh Ronchetti and Matt Moore looking up on the inside here for 30s, but decides against it in the Queefington Mark League car. That car normally races it. And it goes up on the inside for Clearways. Again, he can't quite find a way past. Then they put the power down. The V8 in Josh Ronchetti, which is a 2-litre engine in the Ford Escort, able to keep right with Ronchetti down the straight. And then they put the brakes on the Paddock Hill Bend. Matt Moore tries to go to the outside. Can't do that. This is a battle for 4th position on track. They're taking with a 10-second penalty into account. So Matt Moore looking for a way round the outside into Druid, and the Monaro goes round. Josh Ronchetti spins the car then out the Druids hairpin, spins onto that tarmac run-off we have this year, and Ronchetti continues, only losing one place. For second now, Gary Whittaker's closed in Colin Tester. This is for the lead in Class B, but of course Whittaker has that 10-second penalty. Down into 30s they go then. Sierra Cosworth ahead of the BMW M3. Gary Whittaker, the Kumo BMW champion. Now Matt Moore's closed them both in, so now it's a three-way scrap for second position, and now the more powerful BMW goes past Colin Tester, who normally races that in the Project 8 Racing Saloons. Matt Moore goes past him as well, so Moore up to third on track, and now he's attacking Gary Whittaker into Paddock Hill Bend. 20-minute race for Classic Thunder today, as they have only one race this weekend. Next round will be Mullery Park, where they have a double header of 15 minutes. Mullery Park, the Classic Touring Car Racing Club Festival. So Matt Moore still attacking Whittaker down the hill, down towards Graham Hill Bend, and still Whittaker manages to defend off the Escort. So they power now down the Cooper Straight. He goes to the outside line, trying to go around the outside the BMW, and he's almost made it done, but then he runs out of road. So Whittaker stays in front then for the meantime. They turn through the right-handed at Clearways, and then they put the power on through Clark Curve. Then the BMW initially managed to get away, then the Escort stays with him, and then the Escort has more power, comes round the outside to take the position. to get up to second. A lot more speed that Escort had in the straight line. So the Escort up to second. Then Whittaker taps back into Paddock Hill Bend. We see Paul Bellamy's gone off into the gravel trap and almost into the tyre wall by the looks of things. The top 5 finisher earlier on in the pre-93 touring car race. Whittaker still attacking more down towards Graham Hill Bend. Both of them are closing in the race leader, the Nissan Skyline of Mark Biggers. Meanwhile, into Paddock Hill Bend, AJ Owen's got Ilsa Cox behind him, as well as Brian Lilly in the Ford Escort. They all turn into Druids. I think when the Cox is in there, is both Coxes in there. Brian Cox there, then Laurie Dunster, person that's won 3 out of 4 races in pre-93 touring cars. They all go out of Graham Hill End down towards 30s. Now Owen and Cox starting to get away. Brian Lilly with Brian Cox and Laurie Dunster, the 3 of them battling out now behind them. And if we look back, the leaders are almost together. Moore's managed to make a gap to Whittaker, but he's almost right with Mark Biggers now. The gap after lap 4 was 5.3 seconds. Now it's just over a second when they cross the line. But Matt Moore's got it less than that now as they head into clearways. They nose to tail for the lead. The Skyline under all sorts of pressure now from Matt Moore as they go through clearways. They put the power on out of clearways through Clark Curve. They're going to have some lappery just up the road in the way of Simon Sheridan in the Ford Fiesta. The Mark Biggers into Paddock Hill Bend then. Got a lot more power than that Escort, but the Escort's so much faster around the corners. So they head up towards Druids. Biggers staying in front for the moment. They turn through the hairpin now, and now Moore almost into the back of the Skyline. He was tucked up right underneath it, and then the Skyline powered down the track. Gary Whittaker's closed him in now, so it's 3 for the lead. But of course Whittaker with that 10-second penalty for an out of position start. Again, Biggers pulled away down the straight. Then Matt Moore closes all that gap up through the 30s corner. Then McLaren into clearways. He can't find a way through the big Skyline. Massive turbocharged engine, producing something in the region of 700-800 brake horsepower. Down the bum straight then to complete another lap again. He pulls away down the straight. Then Matt Moore be late onto the brakes into Paddock Hill Bend. And then hits right with Mark Biggers once again. And then they head up the hill. Biggers has a little bit of a straight there just to pull away. Then back onto the brakes they go. Matt Moore will close straight back in. We got some more lappery up the road. That is the Toyota Corolla of Dennis Batten that is running in 3rd in Class D. So down the Cooper Straight, 3 leaders still together. Mark Biggers in the Nissan Skyline. Ford Escort of Matt Moore and the BMW E36 M3 of Gary Whittaker. So now through clearways, nose to tail for the lead, but then the Skyline power once again will come in, and then they go past this Corolla of Dennis Batten. Then they have the next piece of lappery to do. That's Andy Pearman's Ford Sierra Cosworth that runs in Class B, same class as Gary Whittaker. So now up the hill, Matt Moore just a bit of that damp patch on the inside of the circuit, and he still can't find a way past Biggers, and out of Druids they go down the hill. Matt Moore lights bleeds, tries to look up on the inside line, couldn't do that. He's almost into the back of Mark Biggers through Graham Hill Bend, and then Biggers flies away down the straight. And now they have the queue of cars to lap. First of all, there was Stuart Day, our lap 1 spinner. So now Matt Moore again tries to find a way through, and then the Skyline power just comes in once more. And side by side in front between the 2 Escorts, that's Brian Lilly and Stuart Day. Around the outside of Lilly, and then Mark Biggers gets stuck behind the Escort of Stuart Day. Flames coming out of the back of that Escort. Biggers slices his way up on the inside line of that car, and he's got it done. Matt Moore following through Gary Whittaker, just fallen slightly behind as Matt Moore dives up on the inside once again, can't get past Mark Biggers. They run nose to tail out the corner. And then the Skyline doesn't pull away down the straight this time. Instead, Matt Moore goes up on the inside to take the race lead away from Mark Biggers. And so Matt Moore is our new race leader. Second is Mark Biggers. And now Gary Whittaker tries to find a way past Biggers. This is now the battle for second position on track, but with the penalty for Whittaker, it won't be yet for position. Whittaker looks all over the back of it. Biggers hasn't got the straight line speed anymore. There's a problem occurring now with that next Skyline. Whittaker slices his way up on the inside to take second position on track. So Matt Moore now leads the way, and Mark Biggers is about the same pace as the back markers. Right, let's see what happened on lap 1 then. Into Paddock Kilbane, Paul Dobson and Gary Whittaker making contact then, and that's what caused the car to spin around. There goes Stuart Day, he spins as well in fact, you see Paul Dobson's flying start then as they made their way down into Paddock Kilbane. On board with John Ronchetti to review camera here. Then we turn through Paddock, and then there'll be a car right in front of us in the way, and there's Stuart Day's spin. Everyone just about managed to avoid them. On board with AJ Owen then, and he made his way through Paddock. Contact almost between the two Escorts. Brian Lilly just managing not to spin. On board now with Josh Ronchetti. You can see Paul Dobson's flying start around the outside, then looking up into Paddock again, trying to come around the outside of Gary Whittaker. There you go, Whittaker slides into the Mazda, both cars go sideways, and Paul Dobson in Lightning McQueen spins the Mazda RX-7. Right, got a good battle here. AJ Owen, we ride on board. He dives up on the inside of Andy Robbie. Can't get that one done though on the BMW M3 of Andy Robbie. This is a Class B battle for third in the class. So they come across the line down in towards Paddock Hill Bend. They have to lap the Fiesta of Simon Sheridan, the Fiesta XR2. So they turn through Paddock now then. And again, AJ Owen looking all the way out over the back. He looks up on the inside into Druid's hairpin now. Is he going to get this one done? The two cars are side by side through the corner, and it's just there isn't any contact. It was very close there between the M3 and the Sierra Cosworth, but Robbie stays in front of Owen at the moment as they head now down the Cooper Straight, down towards Surtees corner. The M3 pulling away down the straight, and then the Sierra Cosworth comes back at it around the corners and say now onto the down the gear for clearways through the right hand of the, and then power on all the way through Clark Curve and down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Just behind them, soon to lap them, is Matt Moore and Gary Whittaker, who battling for the race lead now. So both of them the lap Sheridan, then they've got that battle further up the pack to lap. Meanwhile, Mark Biggers under pressure from Josh Ronchetti, and Laurie Dunstan now has got spinners at Stuart Day, and the M3 of Mark Fowler have gone round. If Ronchetti gets ahead of Biggers, so he goes third position now then for Josh Ronchetti. Fourth position, something like that. Anyway, into Paddock Hill Bend, Ronchetti pulling away from Biggers then. And side by side for the lead because Gary Whittaker trying to squeeze past Matt Moore. It's starting to rain here as well at Brands Hatch. Yellow flags out, cars spinning everywhere. Let's see what's the Cox down at Graham Hill Bend. So Gary Whittaker had to back out of that one. So down towards 30, there's yellow flags here as well because we've still got cars off at Stuart Day's Escort there and Mark Fowler's M3. And now, because it's raining, the Bath B cars, Andy Robbie and AJ Owen, not really being closed in by the race leaders, Matt Moore and Gary Whittaker. So they now turn through Clark Curve, and then down the straight, Badham Straight they go, down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Onto the brakes then, into Paddock itself. Gary Whittaker trying to find a way past the Escort. Power up the hill, up to Druid's hairpin. Onto the brakes they go then. Just in front, Andy Robbie still holding off AJ Owen for the moment then. Matt Moore and Gary Whittaker absolutely knows it out. Gary Whittaker seems to have a lot more speed in these damp conditions, so if he could get in front of Matt Moore, he may be able to pull out that 10 seconds in this last 6 minutes of the race. And now Gary Whittaker goes up on the inside into Surtees, but the yellow flags I think are still there. Up into clearways then, and we have a red flag. Cars littered all over this Brands Hatch race circuit. So the red flags are out. Let's have a look what happened here. Change the lead. Matt Moore getting past Mark Biggers. That is how the Escort got through with the problems of Mark Biggers. Right, cars heading back out onto circuit for a 5-minute restart, and the races are coming down. So 6 tyres. This is going to be an interesting end to the race. Cars queuing up at Paddock Hill Bend due to overheating issues. Ronchetti had to pull out the race. He wouldn't take the restart along with a long list of cars, which included Paul Bellamy, Dennis Bassam, Mark Fowler, also Cox. And Ronchetti himself. A 13-car restart. Here we go then. Red lights go out. Now it's Matt Moore versus Gary Whitaker off the front, and it's Moore that goes to the front then into Paddock. Second Whitaker. Mark Biggers in third. Still with that problem. So this red flag really hasn't held him because the race is basically a whole fresh piece of paper. So that his big advantage he pulled up to most of the field is eroded, as is Gary Whitaker's 10-second penalty, but Matt Moore already pulling away now from the BMW as they go down to Grantham Bend. The rain has stopped as Paul Dobson goes up on the inside of Colin Tester. Is he going to get 4th position here? He does, as they exit Graham Hill Bend, and now Paul Dobson pulls away from Tester and now chases after Mark Biggers as they turn it through 30s and up into clearways. Now, because Mark Biggers is the only car in Class A4, he will still win his class, but I would have thought because he's the only one in his class, he won't be able to get the points as if there were a load of championship rivals in it. Dobson round the outside into Paddock. He goes third then. Now, what can Colin Tester do about the Skyline? Paul Dobson looks up, almost runs into the gravel trap. He just about stays onto the circuit. Now Colin Tester up on the inside of Biggers. He will get 4th position then. They turn for the hairpin. Moore getting away from Whitaker. Now right behind the Skyline of Biggers now is the Andy Robbie AJ Owen battle that continues. That battle for 3rd in Class B. It's they now exit Graham Hill Bend. Down the Cooper Straight they go. Within the left-hander at 30. AJ Owen putting Andy Robbie under all sorts of pressure now as they turn through 30. Then McLaren, then onto the break for clearways. Owen goes up on the inside. He can't get the move done. They're behind there. Brian Cox having a good battle with Laurie Dunster. Laurie Dunster leads Class D, and further down the order, Simon Sheridan leads Class F. He's the only one out in that class. Right, down into Paddock then. AJ Owen still trying to fight for this 3rd position to get ahead of Andy Robbie. They're still not far behind the Nissan Skyline of Mark Biggers, and behind them, trying to close them in, is Brian Cox. He also runs in Class B. He runs 4th in that class. Class B is the most populated class in Classic Thunder. Biggers are still under lots of pressure from Robbie and from Owen, and now of course, like I say, Brian Cox closes them in, so they head down towards 30s now then. They can't quite find a way past the Skyline yet. And of course, having their own battle in the class as well. M3 versus Sierra Cosworth as they put the power on them through Clark Curve. So this is the battle for 5th overall. And now Cox has closed them in. So down into Paddock. AJ Owen dives up on the inside of Andy Robbie, then he's got his nose inside, and there's contact between the 2 cars. Andy Robbie spins off into the Paddock Hill Bend gravel trap. He will be out of the race, and now Brian Cox is an opportunity to get 3rd in class as they head up into Druids, but Owen defends his position. He stays in front then. So AJ Owen up to 6th, and Brian Cox up into 7th as they now turn through Graham Hill Bend. Now Biggers started to pull away from Owen. And of course, what should be a much more powerful Nissan Skyline up into clearways then, and now Lloyd Dunster really putting Brian Cox under pressure as they head through clearways. And then Clark Curve. Colin Tester in 2nd in Class B crosses the line in 4th overall. Then Biggers across the line, and Owen under pressure from Brian Cox. He looks up on the inside again. He can't do that one though. So they now turn into Paddock, which I presume will be covered by yellow flags on this lap. Up the hill they go then, and they're still in 3rd. Dobson. 4th is Tester. Then this battle for 5th. The 4-car battle. Not big as getting a queue of cars behind him now. Not what you'd really expect with that Nissan Skyline. Also problems into Escort. Hopefully that they can be resolved for the next round at Mallory Park. Also problems for the other 2 Skylines that were supposed to be here, including of course Dan Bly, race winner at Silverstone. As Laurie Dunster looks up on the inside, can't do that though. And then he actually loses time to Brian Cox. Let's take a replay of AJ Owen. He definitely had a gap there on Andy Owen, and then he closed the gap and there was contact between the 2 cars. Let's see on the bottom of paddock, and Andy Owen just spinning into the gravel trap. And another angle of it again. 2 cars running pretty much side by side into paddock hill end. So now into Surtees, last lap, and Gary Whittaker's closed the gap back in on Matt Moore. Not quite close enough, perhaps another lap, and he may well have done it. They've got to lap Andy Pearman's car, who runs in the 12th position. So they will get round the outside of that car. And Matt Moore, in his first race this year in Classic Formula, he will take the race victory then. He wins. Gary Whittaker wins Class B and comes second overall. Only 8 tenths of a second between the 2 of them, and to manage to pull out a massive gap in those 5 minutes. Only 6 laps. Paul Dobson will finish in 3rd then, and the 4th will go to Colin Tester. He will finish 2nd in Class B, but something like 20 plus seconds behind Gary Whittaker. Mark Biggers gets 5th. Who's going to get 3rd in Class B? Because it's nose to tail, but AJ Owen does just beat Brian Cox. They're behind, I think. Yes, it was Laurie Dunst that finished 8th, Day 9th, and he finished 3rd in Class A2. Matt Moore won by just 8 tenths of a second, and Paul Dobson in 3rd, 14 seconds almost behind the race winner.